Well, it's time for part 2 of my Hillbilly welding table build. So let's show you. Here's what I did. I bolted down the steel plate to this table, which, as I said, is a extremely stout table. It doesn't move. Drilled holes through for all of the various big holes that were already existing in this plate. Those are for hold downs of one kind or another, and at least I'll use them as such. I'm going to install, I don't know if it's going to be this vise, but I'm going to install a vise on this side of the table, just cuz. And of course, at the moment, I've got this bucket sitting here because there's a leak up there. Sigh. But this should work pretty good. I need to sand this down because it's painted, and I gotta get a mask to do that. So I got a grinder. I got a grinder over here. Look at that glare. I've got a grinder over there. I can a good old Makita. There's also I think Central, I forget, Central Industry or whatever it is, the Harbor Freight version. But anyway, as long as I'm in here, let me show you my toolbox collection. Over here we have my 2 mill drills. This is a Precision Matthews PM727V, and this is an old industrial Jet 16, both of which work. The Jet 16 is just about clapped out, but it about works. The toolbox is over here. I recently bought that Craftsman, but it fits well with this earlier Craftsman that it's sitting on. But I use it to hold my collets and end mills. This is my entire end mill collection. Sigh. I hope to get some more one day. I'd love to have a couple of really big ones and some really itty bitty ones, and some tungsten carbide and the like. Precision Matthews manual. But anyway, since that's here, I have my drill bits over here. Oh, also my this is a Central Machinery drill press. It's from Harbor Freight. It's not anything fancy, but it works like a champ. But anyway, this is an ancient drill bit caddy that I picked up at an antique store, and I've got lots and lots and lots and lots of drill bits, and lots and lots and lots of drill bits all over the place here. This box is loaded full of screwdrivers, and that one at the moment is empty. It used to contain taps and die wrenches. This one here I use for pliers, like needle nose, dikes, slide locks, vice grip, C-clamps in that one. And here's my $1 oak desk. There's another one over here. These I picked up at Goodwill for $1. And that one I have blocked up with wood just to give it some extra staying power so that it can hold that close to a ton worth of a mill drill that's sitting on top of it. This one here was a couple of welding tables or welding boxes or whatever you call them. I bolted them together, and I use them basically to hold my collection of handheld drills, saws, and the like. Hold downs. Over here I have more hold downs. Oh, by the way, this one here is my, at the moment it's just full of junk. Why is it every flat space in any shop is immediately filled full of junk? Don't know. But you can see there, that's a old Pacific Sea Press. And here we have an RCBS rock chucker. Yes, I do a lot of reloading. Another reloading press here. And I do my own casting. Here's some bullets and some molds. This grenade case here is loaded full of lead ingots from Lyman. Here we have exotic metals, brass, bronze, copper, aluminum, things like that. And this box here contains my honkin' huge socket set, Allen wrenches, driver bits, soldering kit, other sockets, long tools, all kinds of other things are over here, extra toolboxes. That's my Dalton Lot 6 1922 lathe that I've restored. I'm missing the top piece here, but and I can't call the Dalton store and get another one, so alas. This toolbox at the moment is relatively empty because, well, I bought that Craftsman over there by the mills. But this thing here was loaded full of drill bits too, and still is. This one I got at an antique store up north, and I have my tap wrenches, die wrenches, small taps, things like that held in it. Also, my extra Vise collection is in here. This is the other table that was over here, and it's got a chop saw sitting on it. And this is an old Kennedy toolbox. This one is, it's in relatively good shape. This is the one I bought from a widow, I think around Chicago, on eBay. And I've got it loaded full of, well, machinist tools of one kind or another. Mainly like, it's got inside calipers. I think the central tools is also an inside caliper. I think this is a, yeah, one of those things. Then all my other toolboxes, I have them nested over here in basically a C pattern, because mainly I do my work on this Grizzly G0602 lathe. So I have tools related to that over here. This toolbox here, which I picked up at a local used junk store, is full of lathe tools of one kind or another. Cutters, extra, these are actually for the Dalton. Extra jaw teeth stuff. Over here we have, well, mainly measuring devices of one kind or another. Like this is a steric caliper. These are test indicators. That's a Starrett. This is a Brown and Sharp. Let's see if I can open it. Yeah, it's a Brown and Sharp. And this thing is basically loaded full of test indicators and the like. This is a Starrett spirit level. This is a last word. This is an ideal. That's kind of a rarity these days. I think Tubal Cain did a special on these recently. But take a look at that. Isn't that cool? Anyway, and this all trade is a sort of a collection. I think it's, oh, hold on. Oh, I can't open it, but it's Chinesium and kind of weird. This is a horrible freight thing. Digital micrometer. Oh, I love digital micrometers. This is my oldest toolbox, and you can tell that by just the amount of junk that's in the top here, because the more junk you have in the top, the older the toolbox and the more it's been used. But mainly it's for here's my dial indicators, some dial indicators that are busted and I'm working on. Well, other things and tools and stuff and sockets. And well, you never know what you're going to find in here. Those are all reamers of one kind or another. And okay, that's extra, well, basic tools. Down here, picked this up at I think I picked this up at a pawn shop. This is my extra honking huge wrench set. The rest of these drawers are relatively empty. Same with these ones, I think. Nope, these are all dies. Yep, these are my die set. My extra die set. This is where I keep my main honking huge wrench set. And a die wrench that is ginormous and takes 2 guys to run. This toolbox I keep my wrenches in, because you know, you got to have wrenches. That was ASA. This is metric. Sockets of various kinds. And then this over here is my supplies, basically. Rags, gloves. I have pipe cutters, files, brushes over there. And then back in the side here, I have all of my real supplies. You know, things like nuts and bolts and washers and brass fittings and screws and lug nuts and eye-hole screws and pulley clamps and strange clamps and T-slot bolts and lag bolts and you name it. I've got stuff. I keep them in these boxes, just, you know, because that's a cool place to keep them, I think. Though invariably, when you go to do something, like I had to get these bolts to bolt this down, I didn't have the right bolts here. I had to go to the hardware store and buy some. Doesn't it figure? Well, anyway, oh, and this is my, the back there is a Craftsman wood lathe, and then this is a Grizzly mini lathe here in the front, sitting on top of an adapted barbecue grill holder that I basically turned into a cart. This is my original welding table. It's a Craftsman saw that's busted, and I just basically welded some steel plate to the top of it and made a welding table out of it. Though I'm not a great welder, that's a Tombstone Cracker Box Lincoln, AC only, goes up to 225 amps. 220. I have this shop wired for 220 as well as 110. Though I don't have three-phase out here, nor do I have a three-phase, you know, any of the usual dodges to get around that. Oh, this used to be some kind of a file cabinet, was used by the state. I bought it at a state surplus, and I use it to keep my reloading dies in, and supplies of one kind or another. Anyway, there's my shop today, and I'm proud of this.